We can hear you loud and clear.
Thank you very much. Good afternoon once again, Toastmasters and guests. It's 1 p.m. and we are right in time to start our meeting for today. If you are a guest, this is Seaside Toastmasters Club. Seaside Toastmasters Club is one of many Toastmasters clubs scattered all over the world. And our mission is just two things: to provide a supportive environment for people to develop their competencies in public speaking and leadership. We hold our meetings every first and second Saturdays of the month. The first Saturdays we meet at Eko Hotel. It's a hybrid meeting, so we meet physically at Eko Hotel, Victoria Island here in Lagos, and you could also join us online live on Zoom. Our second meeting is the second Saturday of the month. Today is our second meeting in the month of May, and it's strictly virtual here on Zoom. You are encouraged to mark your calendars every first and second Saturday of the month. Make it a date with us at Seaside Toastmasters Club. To proceed in this meeting, I just want to set the ground rules for us so that we could have a seamless meeting and we have to enjoy ourselves today. The first thing I want to point out is the virtual noise. Now, if you are not speaking, we encourage you to, as much as you can, leave your microphone on mute so we don't get distractions from the background or wherever you might be during the course of the meeting. The second one is whenever you are called upon to speak, whether as a Toastmaster or a guest, because we usually want our meetings to be very interactive, you are encouraged, by all means, please do turn on your video so that we can see you and connect with you as you speak. I hope that these ground rules will be kept during the course of the meeting. Thank you all for joining us today and welcome again to Seaside Toastmasters Club. Before I hand over the control of this virtual lectern, I want us Toastmasters to take the Toastmasters promise to remind ourselves of our duty as members of Toastmasters International. The Toastmasters promise is displayed here on your screen. Now, to avoid chaos, you can just say it wherever you are while your microphone is on mute and say it with me as we go. As a member of Toastmasters International and my club, I promise to attend club meetings regularly, to prepare all my projects to the best of my ability, basing them on the Toastmasters education program, to prepare for and fulfill meeting assignments, to provide fellow members with helpful constructive evaluations, to help the club maintain the positive, friendly environment necessary for all members to learn and grow, to serve my club as an officer when called upon to do so, to treat my fellow club members and our guests with respect and courtesy, to bring guests to club meetings so that they could see the benefits Toastmasters membership offers, to adhere to the guidelines and rules of all Toastmasters educational and recognition program, to act within the Toastmasters core values of integrity, respect, service, and excellence during the course of all Toastmasters activities. So we have promised. Thank you very much for doing that with me. Thank you for joining me. And I will hand over control of this virtual lectern to our president. Our president is a technology enthusiast. He's a marketing professional who is passionate about technology-driven products. And he is someone who is passionate about service, and he likes to serve, especially in aspects that has to do with digital and technology. Our president sits on the board of several technology-driven companies here in Lagos. Dear Toastmasters and guests, if your hands are not busy, I know you can't clap and I see you, but please use the virtual emoji, give those reactions, make welcome to our president, Toastmaster Ebube Modi. Mr. President, the virtual lectern is yours.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Ugonna Anyanwu, for warmly and gracefully setting the tone and calling today's meeting to order. Fellow Toastmasters and guests, good afternoon and welcome once again to Seaside Toastmasters Club. Just as has been established by our delectable Secretary at Arms, Seaside Toastmasters Club is a club that is dedicated to help us become better communicators and better leaders. So if you are struggling with public speaking, having stage fright issues, or perhaps you want to try out your multiple hands on leadership positions and get to also see how to improve, this is a club to be. I'd like to begin by specially recognizing some special category of people. I'd like to recognize our guests who have joined us in today's meeting. I would like to say thank you for getting to make our time to join us and welcome to Seaside Toastmasters Club. I also like to once again specially recognize all our members from far and wide who have also joined us in today's meeting. Welcome. I understand we have expectations for today's meeting and we have done our best. I'd like to appreciate our Vice President Education, Toastmaster Kudos Adebayo, who has gone far and wide to ensure that today's meeting is going to meet you exactly at your expectation. What we are going to need from you today is participation. Please participate in the course of today's meeting. You know, participation can be in different folds. You may just be required to do very simple things as clapping. You may be required to do very simple things like getting to use your react button, your emoticons to celebrate people. Those are just the very simple things that you may be required to do so that we can have a successful meeting. And also, in cases where you are expected to volunteer, please give it a try. This is a no judgment zone. We don't judge here. Everybody you see here, we are all working towards becoming a better version of ourselves. And in Toastmasters, we believe that learning is endless. And this is an opportunity for you to try your hands on multiple things, and then we will continue to grow together. Once again, welcome as we are all expectant for an amazing meeting today. The mission of Toastmasters International and Seaside Toastmasters Club is to create a positive and supportive learning experience in which members are empowered to develop their leadership and communication skills, thereby resulting in greater self-confidence and personal growth. Our team, Leadership Legacies, reminds us of what leadership truly means. Leadership, in its essence, is not just defined only by the titles that we occupy. It's not only defined by the positions that we occupy. However, leadership is how well we are able to make impact, how well we are able to leave lasting legacy, even after we have served. As leaders, both in an informal structure and in a formal structure, one of the questions that we need to be asking ourselves is, what impacts am I making? What legacies am I leaving behind, even after my tenure as a leader who is occupying this position? Leadership in its totality is temporary, right? We can't occupy a certain positions forever. It is temporary. But the legacies that we build, those are the things that are going to live even after our tenure, even after our reign in that particular position which we occupy. And in today's meeting, we are giving ourselves this charge that when we find ourselves in leadership positions, yes, the title counts, yes, the position counts, but let us also make more intentional efforts, deliberate efforts to create impacts that are going to positively influence people. And even when we are no longer serving in that capacity, our legacies are going to help us and our legacies are going to speak for us. This is a charge I'm giving to everyone on the call today, that we should try and see how to focus more on creating lasting impact, lasting legacies that are going to succeed us even after we are no longer there. And our inspirational quote for today's meeting is taken by Ronald Reagan, the 40th US president. And he said, and I quote, "The greatest leader is not necessarily the one who does the greatest thing. He is the one that gets people to do the greatest things." Toastmaster is a family that we try as much as possible to grow together, to hold the hands of people, and then to achieve our individual goals. And in today's meeting, I am encouraging everyone to please have just one thing: presence of mind. Don't be on the virtual call and your mind, your spirit are scattered all over the world looking for different things. Let us have these 2 hours, and I believe that we're going to create lasting impacts even in today's meeting that is going to succeed us. And by the powers vested on me as the president of this distinguished club, Seaside Toastmasters Club, I therefore declare today's meeting officially open. Welcome, fellow Toastmasters and guests. In Toastmasters meeting, we have a structure that guides the Toastmasters meeting. And we have somebody who is in charge of managing the transitioning. For us to transition to each segment of the meeting, we have someone who is dedicated to manage that. And in Toastmasters meeting, we recognize that person as the Toastmaster of the day. Now, if we relate it with your regular social events that you attend, we call those people in the regular social event as MC, Masters of Ceremony. And we give them different kind of names, hosts, etc. But in Toastmasters, we recognize that person as Toastmaster of the day. And our Toastmaster of the day is charged with the responsibility of making today's meeting what we have expected it to become. And is going to handle the entire transitioning phase of our meeting today. And please join me, fellow Toastmasters and guests, as we welcome the Toastmaster of the day, who is a former banker who turned an entrepreneur in solar energy industry. He has a deep passion for education and technology. As the coordinating partner of Code First International, an edutech company dedicated to promoting IT education, he is committed to shaping the future of digital learning. Beyond his professional pursuits, our Toastmaster of the day, is an avid traveler who thrives on making new connections, exploring new horizons, and immersing himself in the world of books. His journey is a testament of the power of curiosity, adaptability, and lifelong learning. Please, with a virtual round of applause, fellow Toastmasters and guests, join me as we welcome Toastmaster Michael Nursery with the virtual lectern to take it off from me as the Toastmaster of the day. Welcome, Toastmaster Michael, and over to you, sir.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much, my dear president, our Ebubedike of our Toastmaster Club. Thank you very much. Welcome to today's meeting, everybody. Thanks so much, our president. Please, a round of applause for our president. That's our. Please, can you help mute? Was that for me? Okay. Thanks very much, our dear president, Ebubedike. Thanks so much. Please, a round of applause for our president. That's our president distinguished. I think he deserves a huge round of applause. It's no mean feat. Thank you so much, our dear president. Thanks once again. It's indeed an honor for me to be among you today, and I feel I see it as a privilege, which I do not take for granted. Please, can we mute whoever is?
I've done that. I've muted.
Okay, fine. So it's my pleasure being here today, and I see it as a privilege to be amongst great people today. see me as your tour guide who is going to ensure the engaging and smooth flow of our meeting today as we navigate through our prepared speeches, table topics, and evaluation. So here is what to expect today. Our meeting today is going to be in 3 segments. First, the prepared speeches, then followed by our table topics, then our evaluation. In Toastmasters, prepared speeches, we have our talented members who have been crafting speeches which align with their objectives. So they are going to be presenting their speeches today. Then our table topics, of course, we all know that life does not always give us time to prepare. So table topics is one of the most interesting part of our club meetings. So our guests, you're welcome to perform or to participate in the meeting or the table topics today. Then, of course, we know that whatever we cannot measure, we cannot improve upon. So that's why in Toastmasters, we say that feedback
When we start counting, I don't know how much
breakfast
president
of
will be able to
champions.
do, so that I can clear them all.
So we say feedback is the breakfast of champions. So at the end of our meeting, we are going to be having evaluations, a feedback to evaluate how we went today or how the meeting went today. So to be doing this, I won't be working alone. I'm going to be working with a couple of people. And to do this, I'll introduce our general evaluator for today. Our general evaluator for today has a background in electronics and computer science. He works as a telecom engineer. He joined Toastmasters since 2018. He loves traveling, driving, and reading. He joined Toastmasters to improve on his public speaking skills. Dear fellow Toastmasters and guests, join me as I welcome our general evaluator, Toastmaster Kadio Ngesa Richards, to the virtual lectern. Please put your hands together for him if your hands are not so busy. Okay, you can use the love emoji. Thank you.
Okay. Good afternoon,
Over to you,
Toastmasters and
general
guests.
evaluator.
Good afternoon, Toastmasters and guests. As presented by the Toastmaster of the day, my role today is the general evaluator. My role as a general evaluator is twofold. First of all, I'm going to present the role players that are going to work with me, because as a general evaluator, my role is to evaluate the entire meeting, but I'm not going to play it alone. I'm going to play it with some members. So my first role is to introduce those role players. And then secondly, I'm going to come back again towards the end of this meeting to give a general evaluation of this meeting. So without much ado, I'm going to introduce the first role player. So our first role player is a surveyor, a registered surveyor. He provides surveying services to help individuals and organizations with their land procurement and title registration needs. He is the immediate past president of Seaside Toastmasters. His hobbies include playing chess, exploring poetry, and watching sitcoms. Let's welcome PM Ajani Ibrahim. PM Ajani, the floor is yours.
Mr. General Evaluator, Toastmaster Richard Quadio, fellow Toastmasters, and our lovely guest. My name is Ibrahim Ajani, and I'm the grammarian for today's meeting. As the grammarian, it is my responsibility to pay close attention to all speakers, listening carefully to their language usage. I'll take notes of any misuse of the English language, as well as any outstanding words, quotes, sayings, or thoughts. As the grammarian for today, it is also my duty to introduce the word of the day. And the word of the day for today's meeting is panache. 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 And the word means distinctive and stylish elegance or flair. It also means confidence in style or manner. We have examples of the usage of the word of the day. Number one example, Toastmaster Miriam anchored Tip Topic session last week with poise and panache. Number two example, the club executives have led the club with panache this year, despite the challenges they faced. Number three example, Toastmaster Ebube delivered his presentation with remarkable panache, captivating the entire audience. Fellow Toastmasters and our amazing guests, whether you're playing a role, whether you're doing Tip Topics, or whether you're delivering prepared speeches, I want to encourage you to do it with panache. I also want to encourage you to use the word of the day, which is panache. Towards the end of the meeting, I'll be called upon back to the lectern, where I will deliver a report on how well we use the word of the day, and also on the quality of our grammar during this meeting. With that said and done, I'd like to return the control of the meeting back to the General Evaluator, Toastmaster Richard.
Thank you, Mr. Grammarian, with this panache presentation. Okay, I'm going to introduce the second role player, with our second role player is a sales marketing professional, a sportive and fitness enthusiast. He loves to spend quiet time in nature and enjoys playing the game of chess in his leisure time. The second role player is the accountant, and let's welcome Oguna Inyawu. Oguna, the floor is yours.
Thank you very much, our General Evaluator. Good afternoon once again, Toastmasters and guests. Yes, it's the American physician and poet who said that we have to speak clearly if you must speak at all. Carve every word before you let it fly. And that is a quote by Oliver Wendell Holmes, an American physician. Why is that important? There's this inclination for us to fill our speeches with filler words and clutches that we have found to be very comforting when we speak. Filler words like and we use other words like, you know, okay, like. So when we have repetitive words like this in our speech, it tends to take away from our speech. It doesn't let our speech flow clearly and smoothly as we would like them to be. At Toastmasters, we encourage every speaker to do away with that. And that is why the role of the accounter is important. My role is just to listen to every speaker who will be speaking today and taking notes of the number of times they use those filler and clutch words or sounds to intersect in their speeches. I will take notes, and at the end of this meeting, I'll be back to give my report how we fared in the use of those clutches. My encouragement for you today is, rather than use those filler words during speaking, you can as well take a little pause, recalibrate your thoughts, and continue. That way, people tend to follow your speech in a more seamless way, and you speak with more panache. Please, let's do away with the clutch words and the filler words today. I hope not to get anybody using that during the course of the meeting. Thank you once again, and it's back to you, the General Evaluator, Toastmaster Richard.
Thank you, Oguna, for this wonderful presentation. I'm going to call the last role player, our timer. He is an experienced business analyst in the finance industry who enjoys quiet time indoors and wandering. He is interested in business and currently incubating an export business. Let's welcome TM Grant Oti. TM Grant Oti, the floor is yours.
Good afternoon, Toastmasters and guests.
Okay.
Good afternoon, Toastmasters and guests. Please let me know if you can hear me.
Yes,
Yeah,
we
loud
can hear
and
you.
clear.
Yeah,
We can hear you.
we can hear
Good
you.
afternoon,
Yeah.
everyone. There is this saying my mom used to say, it makes little sense, but I'll go ahead anyway. It says, there will come a time when time can no longer time us, but now it is our time to time. Like I said, it probably doesn't make much sense, but she always told me that when I was growing up. Today, my job is pretty simple, which is to ensure that we keep to time. As the Toastmaster of the day had mentioned, there are 3 segments, 2 of which I would keep very close attention to the time. But overall, it's just to ensure that we keep to the agenda and the times allocated. The first is the prepared speeches. So for each prepared speech, we have 5 to 7 minutes. So what would happen is at 5 minutes, I would show this green screen. So whoever is speaking should kindly pay attention to my virtual backgrounds. So I would show this green screen at 5 minutes. At 6 minutes, I would show this yellow screen. And at 7 minutes, I would show the red screen. The red screen means your time is up. For the table topics speakers, they have 1 to 2 minutes to make their speeches. So at 1 minute, I would show the green screen. At 1 minute and 30 seconds, I would show the yellow screen. And at 2 minutes, I would show the red screen. The same would apply for the evaluators. 2 minutes, I will show the green screen, 2 minutes and 30 seconds, the yellow screen, and 3 minutes, I would show the red screen. Now, for the prepared speeches and table topics, you must speak for the minimum allotted time. So for the prepared speeches, you must speak for at least 5 minutes. And for the table topics, you must speak for at least 1 minute. However, you are given a grace of 30 seconds after the red screen is shown. So you can speak for up to 7 minutes and 30 seconds if you are delivering the prepared speech, or 2 minutes and 30 seconds if you are delivering the table topic speech, and still qualify. If you speak for less than the allotted time, you may be disqualified. If you speak for more than 30 minutes after the allotted time, you may also be disqualified. I am very confident that our prepared speeches and table topic speakers will deliver their speeches with panache, and I look forward to a very wonderful meeting.
Thank you, our timer of today's meeting. Toastmasters and guests, we have presented to you our rules, and we believe that you take note. So I'm going to hand over the floor to the Toastmaster of the day, TM Michael. The floor is yours. Thank you.
Thank you very kindly, our dear General Evaluator, Toastmaster Cardio Richard. Please, another round of applause for him. Please show some love. Show some love. Thank you so much. Indeed, they say that leadership is not about title, it's about influence, not authority. Like our president said, you just left a legacy with panache. Thank you very much. So moving on, please, we want the energy in the house today to be high, and the applause too, want it to be high. Please, let's keep the energy high. So now moving on, we're moving on to our prepared speeches. And our first speaker for today is Toastmaster Boma Harrison. Toastmaster Boma Harrison is going to be evaluated by Toastmaster Olusegun Ibitoye. So I want to invite to the virtual lectern Toastmaster Olusegun Ibitoye, who is a seasoned architect and founder of Design Catalog Limited, a Nigerian-based firm delivering top-notch architectural and project management services across Africa, with a passion for creative, ethical, and high-standard designs. Toastmaster Olusegun brings over a decade of experience to the table, holding degrees from Obafemi Awolowo University and University of Lagos, plus a certificate in entrepreneurial management. He is He's built a reputation for contemporary and modern designs that prioritize simplicity and boldness. Toastmaster Olusegun has contributed to the industry's growth through mentorship and community engagement, and in his free time enjoys billiards, socializing, and envisioning innovative projects. Dear fellow Toastmasters and guests, kindly join me as I welcome to the virtual lectern Toastmaster Olusegun Ibitoye. He is going to be presenting the speech objective of Toastmaster Boma Harrison. Please show some love.
Thank you very much. Thank you, Toastmaster of the Day. Thank you for the Panache way of introducing me. All right, so I'll be evaluating Toastmaster Boma Harrison today. Our pathway is engaging humor. The project is level 1, project 4. This will be her second speech. And the speech title is Navigating the Generational Divide in Workplace. So the purpose of her speech is simple. She has done a first speech. She got a feedback on that speech. And then she's proceeding to do a second speech. And we'll watch out for comments and feedbacks that were made on the first speech. So that's my job for today. And it's over to you, the Toastmaster of the Day.
Thank you very much, Toastmaster Ibitoye. Thank you so kindly for that brief one. Now we're moving on to our first speaker of the day. Please, let's put our hands together for Toastmaster Olusegun Ibitoye. As we move on to our next speaker of the day, Toastmaster Boma Harrison, who is an adventurer with a passion for exploring and living the soft life. I like that part, soft life. Somebody say soft life.
Soft life.
I refer to him as an unrepentant Epicurean, a brand marketer by day and an avid foodie, and everything else by night. His favorite phrase is "c'est la vie." Guess that is French. I guess when it comes on board, he's going to explain what it means to us. Please join me as I welcome to the virtual lectern, Toastmaster Boma Harrison, to do her presentation. The floor is yours, Toastmaster Boma.
Toastmaster today, and good afternoon, fellow Toastmasters and guests. I'm excited to be here.
Sorry, I don't know if it's from my end.
Thank you for having me. Have you ever had a situation where you look like as and what you reach? Can be very.
Sorry.
Please confirm that you can hear me. All right.
I don't know if you're from my end, but I think there's a glitch on your end. I don't know if it's just me. Does any other person have the same experience?
Yes, the network is poor.
We can hear her clearly.
Okay, you may have to move your position.
Okay.
You have to change
Is it better now?
Yeah, I think it's better.
Yes,
Yeah.
It's better now.
Okay. My apologies for that.
Okay.
So I moved my position, yes.
Oh, better. C'est la vie. Please tell us what
C'est
c'est
la
la vie
vie.
means. Merci.
Such is life.
Please
That's
go on.
the meaning
You have
of.
the floor.
Yes, so c'est la vie means such is life. It's French, such is life. So I'm going to start all over again because I think you missed the beginning of the speech.
Yes, please.
And I was talking about the generational divide in the workplace. And I was asking a question to my fellow Toastmasters and guests if they had ever had a situation where there was a generational divide so big that they felt that within their colleagues, they couldn't really understand each other. This can be demotivating, and it can also and make sure that people lose efficiency in the workplace. And today I will be discussing how to navigate the generational divide in the workplace with some tips that I will be sharing today. I want to get some definitions out of the way. So I'm going to start with the Gen Zs. If you're anywhere born between 1996 to 2012, you are a Gen Z. So maybe the Gen Zs could say hello in the chat box if we have Gen Zs in the house today. If you're anywhere born between 1981 to 1996, you'll be termed a millennial. And if you're born anywhere between 1990, 1965 to 1980, you will be a Gen X. So can we say hello to the Gen X's and the millennials also wave in the chat box? These in total would be about 90% of the workplace today, these generations of people. Yes, hello from the millennials. I'm a millennial, so hello to all the millennials. These would form the bulk of the people in the workplace. And we see that there are different generational gaps in the workplace, even from the ages. So the first tip is communication. It would help to understand the communication style of your colleague, their preferred pattern. Some examples will be that we know that the millennials and the Gen Zs tend to prefer social media, a bit of informal discussion, communication as a way of messaging. Whereas we know that the Gen Xs tend to prefer a more formal communication, face-to-face phone calls. For me, this was an eye-opener because in working with my boss, I always wondered why he came to my office. But now I understand. I understood because he was a Gen X, he preferred that face-to-face connection versus me always chatting him. And of course, me adopting this as his preferred way of communication, it just made things easier for both of us. Of course, for me, because I am the one who wants a better relationship with my boss. The second tip I would give to the house is on understanding the motivational styles. In terms of motivational styles, we know that the Gen Zs tend to prefer personalization, creativity, and individualization. Millennials and Gen Xs are more concerned with work-life balance and personal relationships. So in the context of the workplace, it would be great for you to adapt your needs or your objectives towards what would motivate your colleague better. The third tip would be building common ground, building trust. There's a lot of stereotypes which are really not true. Mario Marci once said that what unites us is greater than what divides us. And this is true. In building the generational gap, there are so many things that we could use to build this gap, to build trust. It could be through shared passions, it could be through family, it could be just bonding on things outside the office. I'm going to give an example. And I think it's an example that really shows the shared passion. In my experience, there's no difference between a Gen Z Arsenal supporter and a Gen X Arsenal supporter. And when you look at the Gen Z or the millennial Manchester United fans, there is no difference. These are all commonalities where we can actually build ground and gain trust for shared passions. I would like to wrap up by emphasizing these 3 tips. Build communication styles. Don't be shy to ask, what does this emoji mean? What does this word mean in Gen Z language or Gen Z dictionary? Understand your colleague's motivation. And then lastly, try to build shared passions or build bridges to bridge the trust gap. And last but not the least, regardless of the generation, always lead with respect for each of your partners. Thank you very much.
Oh, wow.
Thank you.
Wow, 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 wow. Beautiful speech there. Please, a round of
Thank
applause.
you.
A round of applause for her. Show her some love, please.
Thank
I
you.
was carried away. I forgot I'm the Toastmaster of the day by that beautiful speech. Thank you so much, Toastmaster Boma, for that beautiful one. Thank you so, so much. They say if your rate of learning does not equal the rate of change, you will become obsolete. So as she was actually asking for different generations, I chose all generations. I choose to be among all the generations. So I don't belong to any generation. Thank you very much. So my takeaway is that you should always understand the people, their choice of communication, and how to connect with them. Very important. And just like a quote by a famous American motivational speaker, he said that, and I quote, the name has skipped my mind, and I quote, he said, the way we connect and communicate with others ultimately determines our level of relationship and how far we go in life. Thank you very much, Toastmaster Boma. Thank you so much for that beautiful speech once again, delivered with panache. Now we're moving on to our second speaker. Please give her some love. Give her some love. She deserves it. We're moving on to our second speaker. Our second speaker is Toastmaster Olubenga Koya, and he's going to be evaluated by Olubenga Koya is going to be evaluated by a seasoned HR professional with a focus on people and talent development. She is also a home fragrance entrepreneur and the founder of Magnificence, a brand that offers space sensing solutions designed to elevate space and enhance well-being. She has served as a two-term vice president membership and a past president of Seaside Toastmasters Club. She is dedicated to empowering individuals to refine their communication skills and speak with authenticity. Fellow Toastmasters and guests, the person here is no other person than Toastmaster
I think it's
Amarachi
hello? Can you hear me?
Olasende. Please join Toastmaster Amarachi Olasende, Toastmaster Olubenga Koya. Please, a round of applause. Is she on the call? Toastmaster Amarachi, you have the virtual lectern.
Yes, thank you very much, Toastmaster of the Day. And good afternoon, Toastmasters and guests. So my task today is to serve as evaluator for Toastmaster Olubenga Koya. And Toastmaster Olubenga will be giving a speech on the presentation mastery pathway. He is giving his first speech in level 1. And the objective is for him to deliver a speech, to receive feedback, to apply the feedback as well in a future speech. Really, so the purpose of this speech is focused on feedback, receiving feedback and applying the feedback in a future speech that he would give. So I'm looking forward to Toastmaster Olubenga delivering the speech with panache, and I'll be back to give you feedback. All the best.
Thank you very much, Toastmaster Amarachi, for that brief one. Please, a round of applause for her, please. Thank you. So Toastmaster Olubenga Koya is a senior internal auditor whose interests span from ancient technologies to the future of space exploration. When he is not meticulously tracing financial trails, He is delving into the marvels of ancient civilizations. Very interesting. Cheering passionately for Real Madrid or contemplating the vastness of space and the promise of future technologies. Guided by the words of J.R.R. Tolkien, Tim believes that not all those who wander are lost. This philosophy mirrors his own journey through diverse interests and explorations. Fellow Toastmasters and guests, kindly join me as I welcome to the virtual lectern Toastmaster Olubenga Koya as he delivers his speech titled 100 Men versus One Gorilla. I can't wait to hear it. Please put your hands together for Toastmaster Olubenga Koya. We can't hear you. Sorry, we can't hear you. Check if your mic is muted. That's the problem with ancient technologies.
How about now?
Yeah, better. We can hear you now.
All right, thank you.
That's fine.
So I'll start again. Good morning, Toastmasters of the day, fellow Toastmasters and other esteemed guests here present. I'm sure you've seen the memes flying around. The latest philosophical debate. What's the potential outcome of a brawl between 100 men and one gorilla? Not just any gorilla, a silverback, a king of the jungle. These memes have inspired a plethora of humorous content and even AI simulations. I've seen various versions of how the battle would go. I've even seen church versions. And of course, most of the memes favor the gorilla. Trust me, I've analyzed the situation and I can give you a commentary of how the battle would potentially go. Go on me with this journey. My model of 100 men versus one gorilla. Of course, every model must have its constraints clearly defined. Constraint number 1, the 100 men are randomly selected. This means that the ladies in this room are safe for now. Mr. Kudus, however, just might get conscripted to represent the human race. I won't be joining. I've been assigned a far more noble duty to provide real-time analytical commentary on the disaster waiting to happen. So yes, 100 regular men. We're talking doctors, we're talking civil servants, maybe a barber, at least one Toastmaster. But if we're lucky, we might get a UFC professional fighter. Our gorilla is not your zoo-born, banana-fed, photo-op primate. No, it's from the wild. He's a mountain silverback. He has never seen a cage in his life until now. He's just been tranquilized, which is the only reason he isn't a problem yet. Emphasis on yet. Constraint number 2, no weapons allowed, only wits and fists, because giving weapons to the men would be cheating. Constraint number 4, it's a battle to the death. And that's because you can't explain to a 250-kilogram primate that an opponent has tapped out, so you should let go. Constraint number 4, it's a cage match. No doors, no exits, no second chances. Either the man or the gorilla lives alive, not both. Now picture this scene. The cage is quiet. A dim red light overhead. The gorilla is beginning to wake from his induced sleep. He yawns. His fangs are glinting. His sharp teeth fangs are showing. They are backed with a bite force of about 1,300 psi. That's stronger than a lion's bite. He scans the space. He's confused, but he's already calculating. He stretches. His muzzles span about 7.5 feet. His arms span about 7.5 feet. His presence alone made 3 of the men rethink their life choices. But thankfully, they have a Toastmaster in their midst. Toastmaster Kudus is vast in how to inspire people with words. And so he gives a quote from J.R.R. Tolkien's Lord of the Ring. He says, I see the fear in your eyes, I see in your eyes the same fear that will take the heart of me. A day may come when courage of men fails, when we forsake our friends and break the bonds of fellowship. But it is not this day. An hour of wolves and shattered shield, when the age of men comes crashing down. But it is not this day. This day we fight by all that you hold dear on this good head. Fight! And then the men let out a battle cry. Testosterone floods the air. The cage door swings open and they charge. All Panache is left outside the cage. The silverback blinks. He doesn't understand what's happening, but he understands one thing: threat. He beats his chest. The ground trembles, then he leaps. The first man is hit mid-air. He folds like an origami. His jaw lands 5 feet away from him. The second man freezes. He tries to run. The gorilla grabs him by the leg, lifts him effortlessly, and flings him into 2 more humans like a cricket bat. Within 20 seconds, 8 men are down. Another group of 10 tries to surround him. One makes it to his back. He climbs onto the gorilla back. He shouts, "Go for the eyes! Go for the eyes!" But he just leaves because the gorilla grabs him like a bag of rice, slams into the floor. The cameraman flinches. The formation collapses. Some men attempt diplomacy. Maybe if we just stay calm, but it's too late. The gorilla is no longer defending. He's on the offensive. He charges, men scatter. He unleashes the kind of brutality you'd only see in a Mortal Kombat game. And after 10 minutes, the fight is over. But let's run the simulation again. Same gorilla, same cage, same rules, but this time it's different. The men are not randomly handpicked. They are fighters, wrestlers, tactical soldiers, Olympic athletes, and most importantly, there is a leader, a strategist, a thinker, someone who understands that brute force alone won't win this fight, but coordinated, intelligent effort might. The 100 men spend days preparing, studying the gorilla's behavior, analyzing its strengths, and most importantly, its weakness. They divide into squads. There's a distraction team, fast and agile. Their job is to keep the gorilla moving. There's the suppression team, built like human tanks. They aim to pin the beast. There's the precision team, trained to strike vulnerable points, the eyes, the joints, the neck. They train, they rehearse, they develop a communication system. Every man knows his role. Every movement has a purpose. The cage opens, the gorilla wakes. Same confusion, same primal power. But this time, is not met with a disorganized mob, but with a machine. The gorilla swings, but no contact. Is baited down, worn down by the suppression team. It struggles, it trashes, but that's when the precision team moves in. A coordinated attack, minute by minute, the fight slips. It's not pretty, but it worked. Eventually, the gorilla falls. The beast has been bested, not by brawl, but by brains, strategy, and collective will. So what's the point of all this, my dear Toastmasters? Because let's be honest, none of us will fight a gorilla. But we will build pyramids. We will send people to the moon. We will run companies, build economies. These are gorillas. What if we rush in unprepared, inspired by only adrenaline and optimism, we will be crushed? What if we approach our challenge like the second model, with preparation, leadership, teamwork, and a little sprinkle of panache, we just might win? The gorilla is strong, but with a plan, so are we. Thank you very much.
Wow. Fantastic.
Fantastic speech there by Toastmaster Olubenga Koya. I got carried away again by the gorilla story. Honestly, I mean, a very strong takeaway there that whatever is planned or prepared, you can conquer. With preparation and planning, you can conquer any mountain. Thank you very much, Toastmaster Olubenga Koya. We're moving on to, please, a round of applause for him, please. A round of applause, virtual applause for him. Beautiful speech. So we're moving on to our next speaker. This next speech will take a different dimension. Our next speaker is Toastmaster Grace Mekano. It's going to take a different dimension from the previous speeches. Toastmaster Grace Mekano is going to present a speech, and I want to crave everybody's indulgence. Toastmaster Grace Mekano, perhaps you might just drop your phone number in the chat box so everyone can reach out to you individually. Toastmaster Grace Mekano wants an individual feedback from everybody to help her prepare for her contests. So please, I want to crave everybody's indulgence that you should try and reach out to Toastmaster Grace Mekano after her speech. However, officially, she will be evaluated by no other person than our very own mentor in role players, our mentor in role players team, who is a member of Toastmasters, who has been a member of Toastmasters since 2012. He is married with 2 children. He is the current president of Luminous Toastmasters Club. He is the past club growth director for Division F and a Triple Crown Award winner. He is a network marketer and an investor who loves to read, dance, draw, play volleyball, and meet people. And that's no other person than Toastmaster John Onumia. He will be evaluating officially the speech of Toastmaster Grace Mekano. Toastmaster Grace Mekano is a dynamic and purposeful professional with expertise in visioning, program management, administration, and logistics. She is known for her excellent communication skills, diligence, and ability to foster strong interpersonal relationships. She has a deep love for family and meaningful connections, and she naturally nurtures and stewards whatever is entrusted to her with grace and excellence. Her passion for worship and leadership led her to establish Hillel in Worship, a community-based organization, in 2016. She has gracefully served in her local church, youth council, leads the media and publicity team of Kaduna South District's Youth Council, serves as the finance head of Soul Rhythm International, the music arm of Youth with a Purpose, for years, demonstrating her commitment to stewardship and excellence. Toastmaster Grace has been a youth with a purpose member across 3 different centers, Gombe, Bauchi, and Kaduna, gaining diverse experiences in leadership and ministry. Beyond ministry, she has worked as a consultant on various local and international projects, bringing her wealth of experience into leadership, mentorship, and organizational growth. She is a Rise Up Fellow from Nigerian cohorts. She is passionate about serving God, nurturing relationships, and building lasting legacies. Dear fellow Toastmasters and guests, kindly join me as I welcome to the virtual lectern, Toastmaster Grace Mekano. Toastmaster Grace Mekano, the floor is yours.
Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you, Toastmaster of the day. Please confirm if you can hear me and see me.
Yeah, we can hear and see you loud and clear.
All right, perfect. Thank you. There's a time and a season for everything under the earth. A time to be born and a time to die. A time to plant and a time for harvest. A time to heal. A time to kill. Toastmaster of the day, fellow Toastmasters and guests. Is any of you wondering why I tagged my speech A Time to Kill? I'll assume some are wondering. When I'm done speaking, you're going to connect the dots. It was a few days before Christmas, the season of joy, love, and family. My phone buzzed. A message popped up in our family WhatsApp group. It was my sister. How many do I kill for you? Kill? Kill what? My elder sibling immediately typed, "Sis, are you okay?" My brother asked out aloud, "Has her phone been hacked?" Second message popped up. "Hurry and respond. I'm about to begin." We panicked. Just when I was about to dial her number, the third message came up. "Chickens, guys, chickens. How many do I kill for Christmas?" The tension went out of the chat room like air from a balloon. Our hearts calmed. That day, 21 chickens were killed in our compound alone. Yes, we're a large family. And our neighbors, 5 more. Across the 8 states, about 100 chickens gave up their lives for grilled glory, pepper soup, and the celebration. But that's nothing compared to the global picture. Sentient media shows that over 70 billion chickens are killed every year for the 8 billion humans we have here. All in the names of celebrations, birthdays, weddings, Thanksgiving dinners, cellular celebrations, or you name it. How many of you have frozen chickens in your freezer right now? Show of virtual hands. Every celebration comes at a cost. And sometimes progress in life requires us killing something. I had to kill fear to stand in front of you today. It took me years. When I was growing up, they said, "Grace, your voice is too loud. Tune it down a bit. Grace, your voice is too deep. Can you sit at the back so you don't block our ears? Grace." They labeled me. In the university, my business lecturer heard me speaking, and he called out, "Grace." I cringed. Too loud, too deep. I waited to hear what he would say. But he said, "Grace, you have an amazing voice. Speak up. We're going to listen to you." Me? Amazing voice? Speak up? That day, I looked at fear in the eyes and it fell off and died. And I spoke loud and they listened to me, just as you are listening to me. I realized that the most important thing that we need to kill are the things that hold us back. Fellow Toastmasters and guests, what do you need to kill today to step into your next season? Because the real question today is not the number of chickens that have been killed, but how many dreams have you let die? Because of fear. Is it self-doubt? Procrastination? Voices that have echoed from your childhood that you are not enough? What if you kill fear and step into all where you're meant to be? What if you kill procrastination and you get that project done? What if you kill limiting beliefs and you think beyond the box? What if? What do you need to kill today to step into your next season? Not every kill is violence, requesting knives or swords or guns, but some are vital for your growth. You need to grow out of that comfort zone. Step into all that you are meant to be. And sometimes, a time to kill is simply a time to begin. How many of you are ready to begin now? A time to kill. Toastmaster of the day.
Thank you very much, Toastmaster Grace. Thank you very much, Toastmaster Grace Mekano. Beautiful speech there. A time to kill. What are you going to kill today to move ahead with life? Is it the fear? Is it procrastination? You just have to kill something to move on with life. Thank you so much for that beautiful speech. Please, a round of applause for her, please. Virtual applause for Toastmaster Mekano. Thank you very much. So moving on. Yeah. We're at that point where everybody gets more excited. I know at this point, some may start experiencing glitches with their devices. Then the bold ones will show up. So we're at that most interesting part of our session, which is table topic session. And to do this, or to handle this part of our meeting, we are going to be inviting to the virtual lectern a profound software engineer. We are going to be inviting to the virtual lectern a profound software engineer who has a strong passion for personal growth. Outside of coding, she enjoys good food and values making new connections and friendships that enrich her broad spectrum of interests. She joined Toastmasters to improve her leadership and communication skills. Fellow Toastmasters and guests, join me as I welcome to the virtual lectern our dear Toastmaster, our Toastmaster of the day, our table topics master of the day, Toastmaster Abibat Oyeni. Please, a round of applause for Toastmaster Abibat Oyeni. Toastmaster Abibat Oyeni.
Thank you. Kindly confirm you can hear me.
Yes, we can see your beautiful face and we can hear you loud and clear.
For the warm introduction. Good afternoon, fellow Toastmasters and guests.
Good afternoon.
I have the pleasure of being your table topics master for today. And for the benefit of our guests, the table topic section is an interesting section, segment of the meeting where we got to call on participants to speak off the cuff. The goal is actually to help us develop our ability to speak and think on our feet, which is actually a vital skill in everyday activity, everyday life. So I'll be asking questions that are in line with the theme for today, which is leadership legacies. The speakers, I'll be asking questions and what it means, like how questions around leadership legacies, reflecting on what leadership means to you, and and the legacies, how making legacies, whether small or big or small, how the daily actions we do that can make an impact in legacy in everything we do. So I think I'll call on volunteers. I've dropped a message. So I'll first call on volunteers. If you have volunteers, we call them. And then I'll also call on unsuspecting participants. This is not to scare you, actually. I mean, just see it as an opportunity to shine. Come on stage, display pills and panache while you speak. And just know that the questions are quite simple. They are straightforward. There are no right or wrong answers. There are no perfect answer. Just come, give your thoughts and perspective. You are good to go. So I've seen two hands. We have Chinedu, Aditiem, Uguna. Okay, I've taken note of that. So I have TM Augustine. I engaged in before the meeting. So I also have, so TM Augustine will be our, guest Augustine will be our first speaker. Then Chinedu, are you a guest or a Toastmaster? You'll be our second.
I'm a guest.
Okay.
First time.
Thank you. Yeah, a guest. So we have two guests and we have a Toastmaster also, which is Ugona. So I'll take it in the order of the Toastmaster should go first, actually. That's Sam Ugona. So you can also see how it's done. Sam Ugona will be the first speaker. Guest Austin, are you still with us? Will be the second speaker. And guest Chinedu will be the
Yes,
first.
I'm still here.
Then if we have more time, we'll call on other participants. Yeah. So Toastmaster Ugona, I have 1 to 8, question number 1 to 8. So which one we want?
Let me have question number 6.
Okay. Question number 6 says, what is the best leadership advice you have ever given or heard?
Thank you very much. Good afternoon once again, Toastmasters and guests. I am Ugonna Anyanwu. And the question says, what is the best leadership advice I've ever given or heard? You see, growing up, I always used to think when I started out trying to lead people, I felt like if I talk to them long enough or if I persuade them long enough, they would do whatever I want them to do or they would fall on my side. But over time, I have learned that you absolutely cannot force people to do what it is they don't want to do. And the best leadership advice I usually give is your job as a leader is to help people understand the benefits or what is in it for them to do whatever you want them to do. So I don't have to persuade you to go to Abuja, for example, but one way I can help move you to Abuja is to tell you what I think you stand to gain when you get to Abuja. So that perspective, that switch of not making it about what I want, but rather about what is beneficial to the person, it's just that switch that has helped me, and it's an advice I always give to anybody who is looking to make it big in leadership. Yes, that's the point. The leadership advice is this, just to summarize. You don't have the power as a leader to persuade people to do whatever they don't want to do, because you will only end up in futility. But what you can do is to align your goal with the goal of the follower or the individual. And when they could see the convergence in the front, even without any effort or persuasion from you, they will run along with whatever it is you are trying to tell them to do. And that will make your leadership transition smooth. Thank you very much, the Table Topics Master. It's back to you.
Cute, one thing I've learned is like it's not by force, but then just communicate with them, let them see the benefits of what they are like, why they are doing that thing. I think it works well. So the next speaker is guest Austin. Guest Austin, are you still on the call?
Yes, I'm still here. Let me set up. Okay. confirm if you can hear me
Okay, I can
and
hear
see
you.
me.
You have question 1 to 5. 6 is gone.
Give me 3.
3. Okay. 3 says, what is one small action anyone can take to show leadership?
Okay. I'm not going to bore you with my words or just to show you how panache I am when it comes to oratory. But the truth is, this is a misconception I had for a very long time. I thought that leadership or leading people is all about telling them, telling them what to do, bossing them around, and being aggressive in many things. All right. So, but I realized after reading a book written by Monroe, yes, I think I'm forgetting his other name, but it was written by Monroe. All right. And that moment changed my life. I realized that leadership is all about uh, I realized that leadership is a matter of leading by examples. And this made me had a second thought that whatever I am doing, I have to lead by examples. Thank you very much.
Thank you, guest Austin. One key takeaway is whatever you are doing, you lead by example. I think that sinks. So our third speaker will be guest Chinedu. So you have question 1 to 4.
I go with 4.
4. Wow, I like the other you are picking it. You are taking it from in descending order. If question first goes as, if you could lead any cause or movement, what would it be?
Okay, my name is Chinedu. Funny enough, I'm joining this call from Owerri, Imo State, where I base. So if I should lead any cause, I think it should be a cause for people to understand who they are, understand their purpose, understand why they are doing what they are doing. Because here, where I work, one of the things I do is to tell everyone that in anything you are doing, understanding is key. Because if your takeoff is wrong, you can never be right until you come back to your starting point and then take off right. So for me, understanding is key. I like to lead a group of people. When I am leading, the first thing I do is make everyone understand who they are first. Then we understand what we are doing second. And then we understand why we are doing what we are doing before we start going to what is in for us and all of that. When we understand that, then our passion for what we are doing will surely have very strong foundation. This is how I see leadership, and this is how I see driving people. Because, like the previous speaker, when people understand what they are doing, why they are doing it, and when the passion has a very strong foundation inside them, it's always very easy for them to move on their own. You can just signal them and they are moving passionately. I think the best form of leadership is helping people develop passion in them, and then you see them, you just and they move. Thank you.
Thank you, guest Chinedu. One key takeaway is understand what you are doing, understand your purpose. Your purpose is just so key in everything we are doing. So I still have 3 more questions. So I'll pick 3 more speakers, and I'm gonna pick from the chat. We have Sodi, we have Cynthia. Who else? Okay, I think we also have Elizabeth. So Sadiq, you'll be the next speaker, then followed by, I don't know if you're a guest with him. Then we have Cynthia, and the last speaker would be it's on first come first serve basis. Okay, Obuta, yes. Good day. So, Sadiq, are you on the call?
Yeah, I'm a guest.
Sadiq Ademola.
I'm a guest here, so I don't know if
Yes, I'm on the call.
What do you say?
So you have 1 to 3. What question would you like to go for?
Yeah, I'm saying that I'm a guest here.
Question 1. I don't know. Question
So
1.
you said you'll be going for question 1, right? Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
Question 1 says, what does being a good leader mean to you?
Well, the question itself is all about being panache. I mean, it also being a good leader means that you have to show it in the way you speak, in your manner, the way you relate to people, your confidence, and that is screaming panache. Exceedingly, the screaming panache, that the way you speak to people, the way you communicate to them, and the way you make them feel is very, very important. So as a leader, it is important that you don't just give the instruction. It is important that you do the action yourself. So a leader is not the one that passes the instruction. It is somebody that takes charge in the actions through reasonable and precise panache. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Yes, Sadiq, I guess.
Sorry.
So, Toastmaster of the day, how many questions do we have more?
One more. We can just accommodate one more. We are out of
Okay.
time.
So, Cynthia will be the next speaker. Hi, Cynthia. Are you still on the call? Cynthia.
Hi, good afternoon. Good afternoon, everyone. Yes, I'm still on the call.
Good afternoon. So you have either question 2 or 3.
Okay, I'll go for question 2.
Okay, and question 2 says, what's one small way you've made a difference in someone's life?
Okay. Thank you so much. Good afternoon, everyone, once again, Toastmasters and guests. I'm a guest. One of the ways that I've made a difference in someone's life is by speaking kind words to them. I believe so much in the power of words, and I believe that words are things and words are seeds. So if you speak positivity into people, it encourages them to do even better. It's just like the saying where they say, call a dog a bad name and then you hang it or something like that. But words are powerful, and I like to speak kindly to people because it helps to encourage them. Even when you don't see them doing exactly the way you want them to do, kind words go a long way. You don't know who is having a bad day, and then you worsen it by speaking, negative to them and things like that. So that's the answer. Thank you so much.
Thank you, guest Cynthia, for that. I mean, that's quite deep, kind words. Like, just be kind with your words. Anything, I think, even if the person is there for it's just like saying, it's just emotional intelligence. Be kind with your words, and I find that quite deep. So I think that's all we'll have to take for the table topics segment. Thank you all for participating. So over to you, the Toastmaster of the day.
Thank you very kindly, dear Toastmaster Abibato Yeni, for that wonderful session you handled with panache. Thank you very much. A round of applause for her. It's quite interesting and quite appealing that there are a lot of volunteers, but unfortunately we couldn't take all of them due to our time constraint. So we hope you join us in our next meeting where you have an opportunity to also present your table topics. Thank you so much to all the table topics volunteers. Thank you to all the table topics presenters as well. Thank you very much. So moving on, please, I would like to call on the timekeeper to confirm if everybody spoke within time. First, this the prepared speeches, the first two speakers, Toastmaster Boma Harrison and Toastmaster Olubenga Koya, so can take a vote. So kindly confirm if both of them spoke within time. Then you also confirm for the table topic session as well.
Okay. So Toastmaster Boma spoke for 6 minutes. Toastmaster Olubenga spoke for 7 minutes and 37 seconds. And Toastmaster Grace spoke for 7 minutes on the dot. For the table topics, Toastmaster Ugonna spoke for 2 minutes. Guest Austin spoke for 1 minute and 26 seconds. Guest Chinedu spoke for 1 minute and 48 seconds. Guest Sadiq spoke for 50 seconds. And guest Cynthia spoke for 1 minute and 3 seconds.
Okay, so for these prepared speeches, are they qualified? The first two speakers, we're not taking the last speaker is not going to be in the poll, Toastmaster Grace Mekano. We're only voting for Toastmaster Boma Harrison. Pardon?
So Toastmaster Boma was within time, but Toastmaster Olubenga was 7 seconds above the time.
The allotted time. Okay,
Yes.
so I think that with that, we can just move on to the table topics. The table topics, can you kindly confirm those who are qualified for the vote, please?
Toastmaster Ugonna
within 2 minutes, 30 seconds.
Yes, Toastmaster qualified. Guest Austin was qualified. Guest Chinedu was qualified, and guest Cynthia was qualified.
Okay, so we have 4 people.
Guest Sadiq, the community, yes.
Okay, so I don't know who is handling our polls. Kindly take note of the people that we're supposed to vote for. There will be a poll for those that's qualified for. Okay, so kindly look at your screen. We have 4 people for table topics. Please vote for your best speaker. Okay, so moving on. While the poll is going on, it shall be announced later once it's concluded. So moving on, we're moving on to our evaluation. We're moving on to our evaluation segment, which shall be handled by no other person than our general evaluator, Toastmaster Cardio Richard. Toastmaster Cardio Richard, you have the floor, please.
Okay, thank you again, team of the day, for this wonderful encouraging of the meeting. Like we say in Toastmasters, feedback is the food for champions. So we are going to give feedback on everything that happened during on the speeches, first of all. So we are going to call now the evaluators. The first evaluation will be a project, because Jegun will evaluate, but it's going to be evaluated also. So I think we are going to call on the first evaluator. We're going to evaluate the first speech that happened. Then after that, Amarachi will evaluate him also. So Jegun, the floor is yours.
Thank you very much. Good afternoon, fellow Toastmasters and guests. I'm here to evaluate TM Boma Harrison. First of all, I would like for us to give her a virtual round of applause. If you can, let me see those hands. Let me see them as reactions. She did an amazing job. And I'll just, again, the sandwich method, I would commend I would recommend and commend, right? She, as I said earlier, she had an amazing speech. I love the fact that she brought our consciousness to the generational differences in the workspace. And I love the fact that she had a beautiful smile all along, even when the network didn't go well, her smile kept us glued. I like the fact that she was conscious enough to define the generations for us. So she sort of put it in context. She educated us before she went ahead with her speech. I love that. And again, I love the fact that she engaged the virtual audience by seeking for their reactions while she was speaking. But in terms of recommendation, I would like to say that one major thing that I was supposed to look out for is a vocal variety, right? And if I can say that it was a bit monotonous in terms of how she went about the presentation. And I think she can do better in that aspect. One tip that I would give is next time, maybe she can find like incorporate a storyline that would enable her mimic a particular conversation whereby she speaks. For example, when she said her boss comes to see her physically, she could have maybe engaged us on a humorous conversation that went on between herself and her boss, especially for the fact that our pathway is engaging humor. That's one for me. The second would be she mentioned Mario Massi. Mario Massi, yes, she said a quote from Mario Massi. I love that, but she didn't give us context who Mario Massi is. Mario Massi could have been anybody. So if it's just a single line of a comment on Mario Massi, at least that gives us context. So again, commendation. I know she had a little bit of network issues at the beginning, and I mean, we're in Nigeria, we all understand, but I love that she had the presence of mind to start all over again when the network got better. And lastly, I would just say that even not as an evaluator now, but personally, I learned something, and I learned that communication in workspace should be empathetic. Empathetic in terms of communicate for the other person to feel comfortable. So even if you're a Gen Z and you're communicating to a Gen X, make sure you meet that Gen X further out. So well done, TM Boma Harrison. That will be it from me to the general evaluator.
Okay, thank you, TM Shogun. So we are going to call Amarachi now. I think the presentation was already done by the Toastmasters during the first phase of the meeting. So I'm not going to introduce you again. So you come and give evaluation on this speech now. So Amarachi, the floor is yours. Thank you.
Thank you, TM Richard. Please confirm whose evaluation I'm taking first, TM Olusegun or TM Olubinga?
Shogun, Olusegun.
Okay. All right, thank you very much and good afternoon, Toastmasters and guests once again. Well done, TM Olusegun. It's good to see you evaluating people now. That says a lot, says that you have grown. And, you know, I love that you're taking the bull by the horn and now evaluating people. So well done. That was delivered excellently. I love the fact that, first of all, you knew the speech objective, you knew what you were looking out for. So you came and, you know, you told us what the speech objective was. The major thing you were looking out for, which was, I think, vocal variety. You let us know. So that just speaks to the fact that you probably did a research before now to know what, you know, to look out for the person you're evaluating. I love the fact that you also used the recommended sandwich method. So you started with a commendation, you recommended, you know, areas of improvement, and then you also wrapped up on a good note as well. So that was good. What would I recommend that you can do better to enhance your evaluation of a speech. I would say one thing that I struggled to get was your eye. So the eye contact wasn't as great. So if you're giving an evaluation, you want to establish eye contact with the person you're speaking with, be it physically or virtually, so that, there's that connection that eye contact typically gives you. So I struggled with establishing eye contact with you. So I'd say for your next evaluation, try as much as possible to have that eye contact just to make the feedback more impactful. And in all, I think you did really, really well. So well done. And I look forward to seeing you give more evaluations, because that's really how we all improve in Toastmasters. So well done once again, and thank you very much.
Okay. Amarachi, you go for the second evaluation. So the first yours again.
Okay, good afternoon once again. So I will be evaluating Toastmaster Olubenga's speech. I must say that your speech kept all of us, on the edge of our seats. We really wanted to know what would happen to Kudus at the end of that story. So that was a very well delivered speech. You delivered that speech with panache. Some things that I would commend, first of all, would be a storytelling approach. I mean, that is already a win in itself. When you're able to incorporate stories in your speech, it keeps all of us, connected. We want to know what happened at the end, so all of us were really engaged because of your storytelling approach. And then at some point you added humor, so that really kept us even more engaged. So well done doing that. I loved the creativity as well. I loved how you were describing the people in your speech, how you described the gorilla, your play with words and everything. It was just, spot on. So well done. Your communication was clear. You used hand gestures. You engaged the audience. At least Kudus was very much engaged, if nobody else was. And you brought it all home. So you ended with a powerful message, really. What are the things that I recommend? I would say that your speech started a bit slow. It could be due to the internet connection, or we couldn't hear you at first, so it had a slow start. But obviously it picked up at some point. When you're giving a presentation like that, you want to ensure that right from the moment you start speaking, we're all engaged, so that you don't lose any one of us. So it had a slow start. I would just recommend that you have a more catchy start, so that we're all interested right from the get-go. And I would say the delivery of your speech, it was good, but it can be great, because you have a very beautiful story, powerful script, but I think you can just work on enhancing the delivery. So at some point, I thought it sounded like you were reading, so I just took my face off to hear you, listen to you, and it did sound at some point like you were reading, right? So you can enhance the delivery of your speech if you're giving the speech again. Emphasize the things that need to be emphasized on, use more hand gestures, incorporate more drama, just so that we're even more engaged, right? So those are the two things I would say for now. And also time management. I think you didn't keep to time, so that's also important if you're giving a speech. In all, I think you did well, beautiful story, and I would challenge you to retake this speech just so that you can incorporate this feedback and make it a 10/10 speech. Well done, Toastmaster Olubenga, and back to you, the evaluator.
Thank you, Amarachi, for this feedback. John Onumiya, so the first is yours to present, to give evaluation on the last speakers, and also give evaluation on the table topics. So the first is yours for the two sessions.
Thank you so much, Mr. General Evaluator. Dear Toastmasters and guests, if you think Toastmaster Grace delivered her speech with panache, please can you give her a virtual round of applause? Toastmaster Grace, honestly, I want to be like you when I grow up. This speech was outstanding. Right from the beginning, the topic you chose, A Time to Kill, very engaging. Many of us have either watched movies or have some idea of what this means. So I want to know what it means from your perspective. Yes, you have a lovely voice, very audible, very expressive. Your vocal variety hit everything it needed to. The highs were there, the lows were there. You kept up locked in for your entire speech. Your intro was great, Toastmaster, great. A time and season for everything, and you went on. Once again, something we're familiar with, and we want to know where exactly are you taking us to. A few things I observed. Because your speech was so good, when things deviate, it is very clear to most of us, at least it was to me. There were certain moments that the pause was elongated beyond what it needed to be, which makes me believe that you were not certain about the next part of your speech. I'll recommend that please be familiar with it so that you can easily transit to that next portion of your speech with intentional pause. Your body language was fantastic, Toastmaster Grace. However, because it was so good for most of your speech, certain moments that we felt, definitely you have the proper body language for this, and it wasn't displayed. Once again, it was glaring. I'll give you a few examples. When you said A Time to Kill, you did nothing with your body. Something as simple as this, A Time to Kill, or you decide what you want to do. When you said global, you just did this. I'm not sure what that was supposed to let us envision, but you can do something like global and just ensure that you're very detailed with your body language. For the quality of your speech, I feel that the conclusion was on the weak side. You went rather long for the end of your speech and you concluded with this. How many of you are ready to begin? A Time to Kill. I think that took your speech down. You had so many moments that you could have ended your speech with a bang. What do you need to kill today to step into your next season? This is your time to kill. So many examples there, Toastmaster Grace. So I recommend that you please work on that. That being stated, you're such a beautiful storyteller. You immersed us in every story that you told. I love your use of questions to engage the audience. In a physical audience, you can actually engage more with the audience, but since you couldn't say a response, you could not do it as much as you wanted to. And finally, I love your use of humor. Well done, Toastmaster Grace. Please, can we give her a virtual round of applause? Again, I'll give you the rest of the evaluation later. Now, let's segue to the evaluation for table topics. Our first table topic speaker was Toastmaster Ogona. The topic, what is the best leadership advice you have ever given or heard? Timer, please, you're starting for table topics. Thank you. Toastmaster Ogona, you have a lovely smile and you started with that. Your smile engages people. It warms them up. They want to listen to you. I love the fact that you repeated the question, giving you time to think and prepare a proper structure for the speech, and you answered the question. You took us down memory lane and shared your own view. You don't have the power to persuade people to do what they don't want to do. Thank you so much for that, Toastmaster Ogona. One recommendation, I would have loved that you shared some anecdotes, some stories, so that we can remember it much later on when we see you and remember this speech. That being said, you had a great structure to your speech. Please, can we give Toastmaster Ogona a virtual round of applause once again? Our second speaker and our first guest for today, guest Austin. What is one small action anyone can take to show leadership? It appears to me, Austin, that you speak for a living somewhere. You were so calm and composed. And what that does is it relaxes us and we want to listen more to you. You used the word of the day, panache. I don't understand where you got the presence of mind to do that, but well done to you, Austin. My one recommendation as well is maybe you could have shared a story with us. I would have loved to see where you were coming from and remember it. Stories are remembered for a long time. We connect more with stories. But the final part that I loved about your speech was the fact that you kept speaking from the very start to the end, even when you briefly forgot what you wanted to say. It shows a great deal of confidence that you didn't stop right at that point. Please, can we give our guest Austin a virtual round of applause once again? Guest Chinedu, if you could lead any cause or movement, what would you lead? I like how you introduce yourself, telling us where you're connecting from. It gives us some perspective of just how far you are, yet so close in this virtual space. You answer the question. You lead a cause to let people know their purpose or passion. What are a few recommendations I have for you? You started by looking in different directions and not really giving us eye contact. Look at the camera. It makes us feel connected to you. I also would have loved that you shared a story, which is more powerful, a story about purpose or passion, which was the focus of your speech. But your speech had a great structure and a great conclusion. Best form of leadership is developing passion in the people you lead. Thank you so much for that, our guest, Chinedu. Please, can you give him a virtual round of applause? Guest Sadiq, what does being a good leader mean to you? Thank you for turning on your camera. Timer, by the way, you're timing each speech, not all of them collectively, since we had 5 speakers, just so you note. You turned on your camera. You used the word of the day as well. I'm not sure where we got this guest for this meeting today, but amazing crop of guests that have that presence of mind to use the word of the day. Sadiq, your speech was too short. You have a minimum of 1 minute, maximum of 2 minutes. You can develop your speech. And if you had a story, it would have been ideal to share that right there. I love the fact that you spoke from the beginning to the very end, even though it was very brief, but it shows a lot of composure from your end. Please, can we give our guest Sadiq a virtual round of applause? And finally, guest Cynthia, what is one small way you have made a difference in someone's life? You dove right in by saying, by speaking kind words to them. Yes, this is very relevant to each and every one of us. Thank you so much for sharing that, our guest Cynthia. Cynthia, you have a lovely voice. I'm sure you've been told multiple times you were audible, you were engaging, and I loved every moment that you spoke. A few things I observed I would have loved that you changed to enhance the quality of your speech. One, your camera wasn't on. When you come for an event like this and you know you're going to speak, please go to a place where you can turn on your camera, because speaking is not just about the words that come out of your mouth. It's also about what we see, what you do with your body. We want to see that as well to get the proper idea of what you're actually saying to us. You started with, okay, it makes it seem like you're not confident, you're not eloquent. Meanwhile, you were. Just pause and dive into your speech. My final recommendation for our guest Cynthia, this speech was just too short. I wanted to hear more. I hope we're going to hear more of your speech later on. Please speak more often. And finally, what I loved, even though your speech was brief, you had a powerful structure and took us from the beginning to the very end. I say all table topic speakers, even though they were not aware of the speeches, indeed spoke with panache. Over to you, the general evaluator.
Thank you for this wonderful presentation, TM John. So we want to listen to the grammarian now. Let the grammarian give his feedback. TM Ajani, can you please give your feedback also? Thank you.
Good afternoon, General Evaluator. Please confirm that you can hear me.
Yeah,
yes,
we can
we can hear you.
Yeah, I've got to say that I'm quite impressed with the quality of the grammar usage at today's meeting. Not only that, I'm also extremely, completely satisfied with how well we used the word of the day. We used it very well, not just that, we use it moderately and in a way that is well measured, because we didn't use it too much and we didn't use it too little. For everybody that used the word of the day today, I've got to say, well done to you. And thank you for making today's meeting more lively and filled with panache. First and foremost, I'm going to read out the names of the people that used the word of the day. Toastmaster Ugona Anyanwu used it once. Toastmaster Grant used the word panache once. Our TMOD, Toastmaster Michael Nosiri, used it thrice. Toastmaster Olusegun Ibitoye used it once. Toastmaster Alex or guest Alex Otobo in the chat box used it twice. Toastmaster Francis in the chat box used the word of the day once. Toastmaster Ebube in the chat box used it once. Toastmaster John used it once in the chat box and twice during his evaluations. Our past president, Toastmaster Amarashi, good to have you back, used the word of the day once. Toastmaster Benga Koya used the word of the day twice. Our guest, Idris Mohammed, used the word of the day not very correctly, but used it once. Our table topics master, Toastmaster Abibat, used the word of the day once in the chat box and once while anchoring the table topics session. Our guest, Austin, used the word of the day once. Guest Sadiq Ademola used the word of the day 3 times during his table topics response, but I think he only used it correctly once out of that 3 times. Our guest, Oguta Gude, is using the word of the day in his chat box right now, which is commendable. Our guest, Aloshuku Nwagu, used the word of the day once also in the chat box. Now, I'm going to move on to the correct and to the quotes that I really like at this meeting. I think the first quote that really caught my attention, it has to be the quote by Toastmaster Grant, the one he credited to his mom. And the quote goes like this: "There will come a time when time can no longer time us, but now is our time to time time." I think that quote is actually deep and interesting. Another quote I like at today's meeting has to be the quote by Toastmaster Boma Harrison, "Selabe, such is life." Another quote is by Toastmaster Boma Harrison, the one credited to Mario Messi: "What unites us is greater than what divides us." I think that's an impressive quote. Now, Toastmaster Benga Koya, I would like to say his speech itself as a body of work is worthy of commendation because it's creative, it's poetic, and it's interesting. He had so many interesting and beautiful use of language in his speech. I like "no weapons allowed" when it was described in constraint. No weapons allowed, only weights and fist. No doors, no exits, no second chances. I like the near rhymes on that. A lot of interesting quotes were used, but as we can see that I'm very short on time, I would like to go straight to the improper use of grammar. Not necessarily improper in some cases, but I feel like it is worth mentioning. Toastmaster Boma Harrison, while referencing Gen X and Gen Z, she said something about Gen X Arsenal fans and Gen Z Arsenal fans, Gen Z Man U fans, Gen X Man U fans. I feel like for the sake of completeness and for the sake of full understanding of the context, she should have added Arsenal Football Club fans, Manchester United Football Club fans. That is very important. One of our Toastmasters pronounced the word legacy as legacy. The correct pronunciation is legacy. Someone in the chat box said, "Interesting story with a panache." I feel like the correct expression should be "with a touch of panache," or simply "interesting story with panache." Well, someone said, "Feedback is the food of champions." I believe the correct quote, the one credited to Ken Blanchard, is "Feedback is the breakfast of champions." That is my report as a grammarian for today. And before I hand over the control of the meeting back to the general evaluator, I've got to say that Well done to everybody that have spoken at today's meeting. And also, whenever we speak, let us try to enunciate our words. When you speak and you mumble your words, it's a turn off. Nobody wants to listen to that. When you speak, please always enunciate every syllable in your word and in your sentences. And with that said, I would like to hand over the control of the meeting back to the General Evaluator, Toastmaster Richard Wadio.
Okay, thank you, TM Ibrahim. So we are going to go back to TM Ogona, who will present his report on the counter. So TM Ogona, floor is yours.
Thank you very much, the General Evaluator. Good afternoon once again, Toastmasters and guests. I am back for my report on the R counting and how we fared using the clutch sounds and filler words. To reinforce when I started, Oliver Wendell Holmes stated that we should speak clearly. If we must speak at all, we have to carve every word before we let it fly. Accounting is for us very important, and today I love the fact that most of our speakers spoke with panache and they did not use the clutch words as frequently as we might expect, especially for the people who spoke for a longer duration, like the prepared speeches and in most cases the table topics. Well done for that. For the use of filler words, like I caught a few of them, the Toastmaster of the day used it just 3 times, and there was a time he repeated with their. So repeating a word often to recollect your thoughts, it's also a filler word in accounting, and he did that once. A former president, Toastmaster Amy, at some point I lost count. Toastmaster Amy, you used the from my count about 7 times, and Toastmaster Olubenga, a beautiful speech. I didn't get him once. Then our guest Austin used twice. Then our table topics master, Toastmaster Abibat, used the M sound twice. Then our guest Cynthia Kosi, she used the she just used that once as a filler word or a filler phrase while speaking. Outside that, I love our use of the clutch sounds that were non-existent in this meeting for most of the speakers, and I thought it was a good one. And I'll encourage all our speakers going forward, we have to be conscious and to practice more. That is one way we can remove that thing from our speech, because it takes away from our speech. Thank you very much. And that is my accounting report for today. Back to you, the General Evaluator.
Thank you, TM Ogona. TM Grant, it is now time to time the time. So floor is yours. Give us the remaining part of your report. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you very much. So I'll just give the reports on the evaluators and grammarian and accountant. So for the evaluators, TM Olusegun spoke for 1 minute and 22 seconds. TM Amarachi, when she was evaluating TM Olusegun, spoke for 2 minutes and 17 seconds. And when she was evaluating TM Olubenga, she spoke for 3 minutes on the dot. TM John spoke for 3 minutes and 12 seconds in evaluating TM Grace. And for the table topics evaluation, he spoke for 5 minutes and 40 seconds overall. The grammarian spoke for 6 minutes and 15 seconds. And the R counter spoke for 2 minutes and 20. Overall, we are about 5 minutes behind where we should be on time. So I guess we'll make up for it as we go along. Thank you very much.
Okay, thank you again, Grant. So now comes my time to give feedback on the overall meeting. I think we should all clap for Seaside Toastmasters Club. You can open your mic and clap for Seaside, please. Okay. Okay, the meeting started on time today, and it started with 45 people connected. So this is why I was saying that we should clap for Seaside, because this is something that we've not seen before. 45 people connected in the beginning of the meeting, and this is wonderful. It's commendable for Seaside. We can also say that the role were well presented by all the role by the Toastmasters. The role players also presented very well their role. The biography of the speakers and objective of the speeches were also well presented. The segue between the speeches shows that the Toastmaster of the day was listening very well to every speaker. And all the speakers also were showing their videos. So what can we improve on? We noticed that some of our guests, I don't know if he's a guest or a speaker, didn't listen to what our sergeant at arms presented in the beginning of the meeting. He was saying that if you are not speaking, you should mute yourself, but some people did not do it, and then they were disturbing in the meeting. Also, we should improve on checking the quality of our network before coming to the meeting, because sometimes you can have a good position in your room where the network quality is okay, but we saw that some people were not paying attention to it, and it was also disturbing their presentation. We should also watch the quality of our audio, because we saw that we were having some echo during the meeting. So I think we should work on it also. I noticed also that the use of the word of the day was not very well used by the speakers, apart from those in the chat. But those that were giving prepared speeches did not use the word of the day very well, and I think we should improve on it. The table topic master also overshoot the time without being notified by the timer. So we should work on this one also in the next meeting. And I think it went well. The meeting went very well. At the point, we were 75 people connected in the meeting. So I think we should also clap for Seaside for this one, because 75 people connected in one meeting. This is wonderful. I will have to hand over the mic to the Toastmaster of the day to continue the meeting. Thank you. Toastmaster of the day.
Thank you very much, our dear Toastmaster Cardio Richard, for that wonderful presentation of our evaluation session. Thank you so much. Dear Toastmasters and guests, this is the point where I have to take my leave. But first of all, let me thank everyone for being present at this meeting and the opportunity given to me to anchor this meeting. I see it as a privilege I do not intend to take for granted. So, dear fellow Toastmasters and guests, I leave you with these words by a renowned American author known as Robin Sharma. In his book, he wrote, "The Leader Who Had No Title." He said, and I quote, "To be a great leader, first, you must become a great person." So at this point, I want to hand over the virtual lectern, to a great leader who has become a great person in the person of our dear president, Toastmaster Ebubedike. Toastmaster Ebubedike, our dear president, you have the virtual lectern. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Michael. Can we please celebrate Toastmaster Michael? Please give him a virtual round of applause, physical round of applause. Please celebrate him for a job well done. Thank you so much, TMOD, for carrying us through an engaging segment of today's meeting. We appreciate you getting to come join us and also deliver excellence and value in the course of our meeting today. I'd like to say thank you to everyone who has joined us and who have stayed true up to this particular moment. We do appreciate you and we do not take these for granted. And this is the final segment of our meeting. And we're going to be celebrating a few people who have improved tremendously in delivering their speeches or handling some roles that has been assigned to them. And we're going to begin with the prepared speech segment. And on that segment, you voted for someone who you believe that delivered excellence and delivered value in how they were able to deliver their speeches. And I'd like to announce that from your voting, we were able to get a winner. And our winner for today's prepared speech segment is no other person than Toastmaster Boma Harrison. Please celebrate Toastmaster Boma Harrison with a round of applause. Congratulations, Toastmaster Boma. We're going to be handing over the certificate to you immediately after this meeting. Also, we were able to have the second segment, which is the table topic segment of our meeting, where members had to speak without preparation. And in that segment, you also voted, and you voted and selected, and our winner for the table topic segment of the meeting is no other person than Toastmaster Ugonna Anyanwu. Please also celebrate Toastmaster Ugonna Anyanwu for being so excellent and exceptional and intentional while he was delivering his table topics topic. Thank you so much. And for the evaluation segment, unfortunately, we did not vote for that segment. However, the evaluation, everybody delivered excellent evaluation. And I'd like to say congratulations to everyone. Thank you so much for everyone who had done the work and getting to prepare for their speeches. Thank you so much for the volunteers who participated in the table topic segment. Thank you so much to all the role players who were able to volunteer to serve in one way or the other to make today's meeting excellent. I'd like to also recognize special people who later joined us in the course of the meeting. I'd like to recognize our very own area director. She joined us in the course of the meeting. Thank you so much, Madam Area Director, for always supporting us and getting to join us in our meeting. I also like to recognize our very own immediate past president. Now in Toastmasters, we have leaderships and their leadership tenure is usually 1 year. Thank you so much, Madam President, for getting to also join us and even delivering exceptional service, even in your role when you serve. I also like to recognize DTM Dekloski. Thank you for always joining us when we call on you. We do appreciate you. I'd like to recognize everyone who joined us in one way or the other. Thank you so much. We do appreciate you for getting to join us in the course of our meeting. And I'm going to be taking a few announcements to keep us updated on some of the events that we have scheduled for you. And first, I'm going to begin with membership renewal. First, before I go into that, I'd like to thank all our guests who have joined us. Now, there is a special segment that is reserved for our guests. Now, if you want to become a member, if you have questions on what we do here in Toastmasters International, if you feel that you want to communicate with somebody just to get a clarity on any topic, now this segment is reserved for you immediately after this segment. So please just wait for a period of 5 to 10 minutes and our Vice President membership in the name of Toastmaster Richard Quadri is going to speak to us and then is going to also answer your questions as well. And for members who I'd like to encourage some of our members to renew their membership. We've already started renewing membership. This will also help you to be in good standing with the club as well. I'd like to announce that next week, we're going to be having our business meeting. Business meeting in Toastmasters is when we do election. Is when we do club elections and when we give reports on how we have manage the leadership opportunity that has been given to us. Just like people came up stage to serve in different roles, we were given the opportunity to serve, and we have to be accountable for the Toastmasters year, which we are given this opportunity to serve. So we're doing our business report, and it is only open for members. And it's going to be happening on the 17th of May, 2025, from 1 p.m. to 3 p.m. So please, all members of Seaside Toastmasters Club, this is where you have to come and have expression. This is where you will see how we manage your finances. This is where you see how we were able to make progress, and we'll also be open to receive your feedback and also see ways that we can improve personally. This is an opportunity for us to be accountable to you, because in Nigeria, we need to train leaders to be accountable. Now the ball is in your court. Please show up and let us do this and also be more accountable when we are given this rare opportunity to serve. And it's on the 17th of May, 2025. I also like to mention that we're having multiple conferences in Nigeria. Now I'll be holding in Uyo. One is Toastmasters Nigeria Conference. Now all the Toastmasters all over Nigeria are going to be converging in Uyo, which is in Akwa Ibom State. You are invited to please join so that we can have a jolly good experience. Now the conference is open to both members and is also open to both guests. And that is happening on the 13th to 14th of June, 2025. If you want to know more information about it, please reach out to myself, or you can drop a message in the comment sections, and then we will also reach out to you. I also like to mention that we have district conference coming up. District conference is when Toastmasters in Nigeria come together, Toastmasters in Burkina Faso comes together, Toastmasters in Ghana, Toastmasters in Ivory Coast, all of us within a sub-region come together for a conference. And that is happening on the 15th of May to 17th of May, 2025. And finally, we're having the DEA Award, which is Division Excellence Award. In our own division, we're going to be having a conference, a conference, a get-together where we come to celebrate this, our Toastmasters year, and that is happening on the 21st of June, 2025. I also like to mention that our next meeting is happening on the 7th of July, 2025, and that is going to be our induction. All the new members who have joined us in Seaside Toastmasters Club, that is when we're going to induct them and give them their ribbons and whatever we have to give them to also celebrate them. So please try and join us for the 7th of July 2025, 7th of June 2025, and that is going to be in Eko Hotel. We're going to be having a physical meeting at Eko Hotel as well as a virtual meeting, just in case you won't be able to join us physically. So once again, I'd like to say thank you to everyone for staying with us. And by the powers vested on me as the president of Seaside Toastmasters Club, I therefore declare today's meeting closed. Please, if you are a guest, please stay behind so that the vice president membership will then address you and speak to you. Thank you so much, everyone, for joining us.
Thank you, Mr. President. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you.
And have a wonderful weekend ahead.
Okay, for the guests, can you please add to, rename yourself, put in guest so that we can ask you to introduce yourself? Or the TM, Toastmasters, can you please put TM before your name so that we differentiate between you and the guest? Also, if you are a guest, can you please put, raise your hand so that we can also know more about you before you rename? Okay. Chinedu Hadi. Yes,
Yeah.
we want to know more about you, how you heard about Toastmasters, Seaside Club, and then what is your appreciation of the meeting? Thank you.
Okay.
We can start.
Okay, yeah. My name is Chinedu had the one detail based in Imo State, Owerri. And then I think I've heard about Toastmasters a long time ago. I have a roommate way back in school days who I don't know if he's still a member because he's based in the UK now. He was a member then, and he was always sharing stuff about the Toastmasters. Then it was about 3, 4 years ago. And then one day I felt like, okay, I should look it up and find out what it is. And yeah, I think online also, I don't know. I filled a form. I went to the main website, found the Seaside, or the Seaside were the only ones I found on Facebook or something. I don't know. But I've been receiving emails of meetings. Basically, it should be for more than a year now, but I've not really taken time to join. So when I received this particular email, I told myself, okay, I'll join this time. Let me see what it looks like. And then I think 2 days ago or so, Mr. Ebube also messaged me. I don't know how he got my number, but I know I sent my details somewhere. I know I did that. So this is one of the things I wanted to know if there is a chapter here in Imo State. It's one of the things I wanted to know because I'm not based in Lagos. I'm based in Owerri. Based in Owerri. So I was going to ask if there's a chapter here in Owerri, and it will be very nice for me. Maybe I'll join them or I see how I could become a member. But if I should be part of the uh, this chapter, basically everything I will do will be virtually, unless I'm in Lagos for something, then I can then join. I come into Lagos once in a while, but I have a a pretty tight schedule here in Owerri. And by the way, I run a media outfit, the digital media and tech outfit based here in Owerri, Imo State, Otam Digital Media, and into a number of things, so web designing, PR, and all that. And then, so that is just it. For me, I enjoyed the session today. I talk to people, I lead, I do a lot of things, but then networking, learning more, there's always room for that. I love to learn. I love to connect to progressives and then see what I can learn and become a better version of myself. So that's the reason I joined up today.
Okay, thank you, Chinedu. You can leave your email address also so that we can get in touch with you also later. Okay, I'll say them again. Guest Tosi Olapade, if you can open your mic and introduce yourself also. Thank you.
Thank you, Toastmaster and fellow guests. My name is Tosin Olapade, and just like the first speaker mentioned, I've been getting a series of invitations from Toastmaster for some time now. But however, I think sometime last year, because even when I would have signified interest to join the Eko Hotel meeting, maybe my schedule may not permit it for some Saturdays when they are having the meeting, but I know I received an invite sometimes last year that, okay, look for a Toastmaster club near you, and I did a Google search, then found that, okay, there's this one that is very close to my work environment, and okay, even if there were to be a physical meeting, that one, the proximity will afford me the opportunity to attend. So I work in the technology arm of Sterling Bank, and I think it has been a great session. It's quite insightful, and I think what I've seen here is laudable in what you are doing for people, how to improve on their speech delivery, eloquence in grammar, and also the confidence in speaking. I think is one of the selling points for any leader in any organization, even as whatever role we play. I think it is something to learn, and I think you are building the community, you are building society to be so people can be better. So it's commendable. And what I've seen today, I think I will be willing to stay join your subsequent meetings. Thank you. And also, I heard the president speaks to membership. I would like to have information on the membership, how to be a member and the requirement of membership. I know I've filled a form in the past. I don't know if that one qualifies for membership or maybe additional requirement that follows. So all that is what I will be needing after this session. Thank you so much.
Okay, thank you, Tosin. So you can drop your email address also, and then we'll be able to give you all those information that you want. So Dick Ademola, if you can open your mic and introduce yourself. The
Okay,
next
good
one will be
afternoon.
Betty.
Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you.
Yeah, good afternoon. My name is Sadiq Ademola Adeniji. I'm a guest, and this is my second time joining this meeting of Great Minds. And I must say that from the very first moment that I had the first person speaking during my first time here, I fell in love with the whole activity of the club. So I heard about Toastmaster or Seaside Toastmaster Club during a JCI public speaking training that basically it was Toastmasters that were taking us on that training. And I was overwhelmed by the quality of how they speak and their command of language and everything. And this is me. I've always been somebody that wants to be better in public speaking and of course leadership. And I know too well that these two things go hand in hand. There's no way you be a good leader without being a good speaker. So this is the reason I came to Toastmasters, and I can say that I'm already seeing a good result so far. But to crown it all, I've gotten the email on how to join. So very soon, by God's grace and willing, I will be a full-fledged member. Thank you so much for the opportunity.
Okay, thank you. Yeah, and thank you, Sadiq. Blessing, if you can unmute yourself and introduce yourself. Thank you.
Okay, good afternoon, everyone. Thank you for the invitation. Please confirm if you can hear me.
Yes, we can hear you.
Okay. First of all, I would like to introduce myself. My name is Blessing Abo, and I am an HR professional. So the reason why I would like to join this group is basically because I've been having getting emails from the Seaside group about joining the group and getting to know more about public speaking and leadership. So what actually struck me yesterday was the WhatsApp message I got yesterday from Mr. Ebube. So I decided, okay, I think I can clear my schedule for today and then probably join, although I joined a bit late, but I was able to listen to the lady that talked about what to kill for you to move forward, and I really loved her speech. So I would want to be a member of this group because I am someone who would like to go into public speaking. You understand? I think I've been saddled with the responsibility of having a few people in my team, all right, where I would love to speak confidently. And I also noticed that one of the things that I don't like when I am speaking is at some point I would prepare my speech and then at the middle of the speech, I'll just be frozen and like I'll just forget about everything I had prepared for. And that alone is what I do not like because it doesn't see me in a good light to my leaders and the rest. So that's more reason why I want to join this group. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Blessing. You can drop your contact also so that we can get back to you and give you more information about how to join the club. Christian Ogbo. Christian, you can unmute yourself and introduce yourself. Thank you.
Okay. Good afternoon, everyone. Good afternoon, the Toastmaster. My name is Honor Christian Ogbo from Benue State. Like the other guests that have spoken already, I don't know